Here we go, boys. This video is certified cringe. Okay, this is gonna be a video on why you shouldn't beat your meat. As you guys may or may not have known, it depends on who's watching this video, but I haven't beat my meat in like 11 months. I usually don't talk about it too much just because I think it's cringe. There are a ton of benefits though, like a lot of benefits. I think NoFap does a terrible way of making it attractive to join their movement. I think it's incredibly cringe. You're not like levitating or anything, but it's important. Actually, it's an important thing, important enough to where I care enough to make a video on it, and I really don't care about many things. So I don't know if you care about interacting with women in any capacity, better than what you currently have. Maybe you should watch. If you don't care, then if you don't care about interacting with women, I don't know. Maybe you're gay. Um, no, that's a bad thing, but maybe. I'd really sit down and think about that. It's really like a male prerogative. Anyway, point is, most of you are not built for adversity. Okay, you guys aren't meant to struggle. Most people in this world are followers. The fact of the matter is most of you will never in your entire lives surpass addiction. You guys are addicts, period. I don't know how to give you motivation for stuff. I woke up one day and decided I didn't want to do it anymore, and I'll tell the story of how, but I did that. Okay, and the benefits were huge. Not that I saw them coming. I looked at a whole bunch of videos. This topic's been beaten to death. We looked at a ton of videos, trying to find science. Like, should I be watching it? Does it matter? Blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, don't matter if it matters. It matters that I can watch or not watch if I want to. Don't matter. Nothing has any control over me. That stubbornness is what led me here, and that stubbornness is why I am what I am. Straight. A lot of you won't. A lot of you gonna relapse repeatedly. Some images of people smashing on a screen is gonna beat your entire bloodline. The all the adversity of all your ancestors all the way up until today is stopped because you can't see two fake people smash on a screen, which is crazy to me. Maybe that's just a me thing, but frankly, I think the average man probably should be able to do better. But what am I to say? Chances are you're a piece of shit and you're probably stupid. You actually get significantly dumber watching this type of content, mostly because your brain only has so much short-term memory that can really draw access to. You have long-term memory banks that allow you to learn things faster, but the encyclopedic amount of knowledge you gain about explicit content, that's going to take up obviously a lot of your stuff. So you're just making yourself more stupid. Which is shocking. It's kind of shocking that anybody would do that. I guess it's not. Like, there are people who are addicted to other things, but at least they're chemically addicted. Maybe that's an excuse. Anyway, why did I stop? So I watched explicit content probably from when I was like 8 all the way up until when I was like 23, something like that. And I remember I was walking around with this girl. It was my last ex, actually. She was super cool. We didn't date for very long. She was cool. She was crazy. I got my own problems too. It just didn't work out. Nothing too nuts. But like, one of the first times we met, this story probably tells you how she was crazy. We were walking around, and I remember she looked at me and she's like, "Yo, like, you watch explicit content?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I get down with that." And she looks at me and she goes, "That's disgusting." The words she used were actually more intense than that, but she's like, that is gross. That's putrid. I would never date anybody that does that. I wasn't even thinking about dating her at the time. But I remember afterwards, like, I ended up coming home and I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't need that. And I was like, there will be no last time. I was like, this is it. I'm never ever considering this or touching this ever again. Right. And that was it. I just stopped from then on out. I did end up dating her, which is hilarious, but there's side effects and stuff of stopping, which you guys will figure out when you do it for yourselves. You guys will figure out that even if you don't think you're addicted, because I was addicted even though I could stop whenever I wanted to. Just because you can stop whenever you want to doesn't mean there's side effects from stopping, like dopamine sink in your brain. Kind of crazy. So for me, stopping was no touching myself in any capacity. Not even during sex, really. Like, I mean, I might hold my shit a little bit, maybe like one or two, just make sure I'm ready to go type of scenario. But really on the low, there's like nothing happening with that, bro. I'm never interacting with it. And so if I'm not if I'm not interacting with another human being, I'm never nutting ever. Okay, you just don't need it. I've gone like 4 months without nutting, ain't a problem. Okay, I mean, like low key, I mean, you do think about it, but I mean, it's just not that big a deal. I assume, especially because like everybody talks about, oh, the indomitable human spirit, we're meant to do this, we're meant to do that, so seeing the bloodline, you feel that thirst for glory, bro. Tell me, you feel that thirst for glory where you have to beat your meat? Disgusting. Um, yeah. So I mean, like, no explicit content, like at all. Like if somebody sends me explicit content, like I'll look at it type of scenario, but I'm never touching myself to it or nothing. I'm not even sending explicit content. I'm not like sexting. Like you might shoot a text and be like, hey, like I'm gonna come blow your back out type of scenario. And maybe she's like, oh yeah, like tell me more. You're really like, well, you have to come in here. You have to come here and see type of shit. Okay, y'all should not be do not be engaging with sex outside of like actual sex. Okay, because that's low key. That's probably what got you here in the first place, right? Is you be thinking about it, and then you hop on to the most easily accessible drug on the planet. So anyway, that's what I haven't been doing. It's been like 11 months now, something like that. And those benefits, boy, let me tell you. Pros of stopping. All right, I'm gonna tell you, man. That memory bank usage, that shit is real. I'm a pretty smart individual. I went to university for. I was a National Hispanic Merit Scholar. Y'all don't know what that means. That means that it's like auto acceptance and honors like anywhere. So I went to university for aerospace engineering, from which I withdrew. I'm not saying I was a great student. I'm not saying I'm the smartest dude on the planet. Pretty damn smart. I literally went to university for rocket science. I withdrew because I wanted to do YouTube instead, but I could go back if I wanted to and work for one if I wanted to. Actually, the digital footprint, maybe I couldn't, but not an intelligence thing. Point is, okay, I had the knowledge I had over explicit content was staggering. Okay, from artists to sites to stars to blah blah blah. Like I knew everything, bro. It was really crazy. But I really think about it, I'm like, oh, that was a lot of information. At the same time, like I knew a lot about a ton of other stuff too. But now that I freed that much of my brain away from that, the amount of knowledge I had was crazy. Now imagine if you could repurpose all the knowledge you have for explicit content and point it elsewhere in your life, bro. That's like the pill from Limitless. You just get that, bro. You ain't even got to take a pill. All you have to do is stop beating your meat. Um, Crazy thing also is like you are so relaxed. You're beating your meat consistently. Um, but the problem is you shouldn't be relaxed. Your life doesn't actually get better. In fact, your life probably sucks more because you are beating your meat instead of doing things you probably should be doing. Which is really annoying because I hated that. Because like when I first stopped watching explicit content, bro, I remember looking online and I would see all these dudes talking about, oh my god, like you don't know, you're wasting all this time, you're doing this stuff. Bro, the worst part about it is they're right. They're not even wrong, right? You're just coping so hard with like not being able to watch explicit content because the cope is crazy. Like, I mean, if y'all watching this video, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all like, oh my god, maybe I need this, maybe I don't. Bro, I'm not gonna give you any type of scientific explanation. I'm not gonna show you charts on how your brain works or doesn't work. I'm gonna tell you the facts. Okay, I'm just gonna let you know what happened for me and what will most likely happen for you. Because I'm built different. Okay, this is not hard for me to quit. No, not really. But it's gonna be hard for y'all. Y'all aren't built like me, so good luck. Another thing I'd say is you like when you stop, bro. Like you have more energy. Like all that pent up energy goes somewhere. Especially if you're not nutting, if you're not interacting with women like that, bro. That energy that can be looking for cooking, for cleaning, for working out, for working, just on your grind in general. Like moving forward as a man. Let's be honest, guys. The bar is in hell for dudes right now. The bar is subterranean. Okay, it is not that hard to make yourself like a top 10% dude. You don't have to have a lot of stuff because people always talk about, oh, it's a top 10% man, top 10% man. Bro, most men are terrible. Y'all have to remember, like, when y'all are talking to women, or if y'all can't talk to women, the guys who are talking to women are like financially abusing them and beating them and can't brush their teeth, bro, and can't wipe their ass. Like, these are the type of dudes that are beating y'all. You have to understand, like when all these women have like really bad scenarios and they're like, dude, this guy like beat me and I kept going back to him, but this guy kept cheating on me and I kept going back to him. Y'all are losing to these people. Okay, like if y'all are watching this and can't talk to women, y'all are below like the bottom 50% of men. Just for context, this is the stopping to beat your meat is like the first step in so many different things you have to improve and so many different things you have to do. This is just the first step, bro. But you'll be more focused, you'll be more dynamic, right? Because your head should be on a swivel, bro. I'm not saying you should be tweaking 24/7, but like you're like numbing yourself. You're like numbing that self-preservation instinct you have is like a man. And some of y'all may not even know what that feels like, right? Like if you started beating your meat like early enough, you'll have no idea what it's like to be sharp out here. You'll have an idea of what you think it could be like, but your brain doesn't even rewire until like, man, like 10 months or like a year in. Like everything does not start to get clear like that. And you're probably too weak to last a year. So I mean, I guess I'm wasting my breath. But I'm gonna tell you, man, another thing is confidence, straight up, right? You'll be dripping. Man, I'm not saying that ego is gonna be everywhere. I had this ego before this happened. But you are automatically better than 60% of men. And a conservative estimate, like 60% of dudes are out here watching explicit content consistently. Okay? You beat that addiction, you're better than 60% of dudes. Put you in the top 40%, right? Because that addiction, like if you have an active addiction, I mean, you can. There are functional addicts out there, but you'll be strictly worse off in a vacuum, a guy who's addicted versus not addicted. Straight. And all you have to do is not do something. You ain't even got to do something. You don't even have to be proactive. Another thing I'll say is conversation is significantly improved, especially with women, bro. Because every time you talk to somebody, right? Well, something you think about, like, if y'all watching explicit content, y'all always thinking like nude, smashing type of scenario, right? And I'm not saying I never think about that. I mean, it's rare now for sure. But like, when you lack that explicit content, when you lack like sexting and swapping a bunch of pictures and stuff, y'all always have to have like meaningful conversations. Anytime you interact with a chick, unless you are in your bed doing the deed, you're just talking to them normally. And if you have enough normal conversations with normal people, you'll get better at it. Pretty good flip, It's pretty solid stuff. Again, it's also something very unique. Not a lot of girls are going to interact with a lot of guys like that. Food for thought. Another thing I'll say is sex is no longer bait, okay? When you interact with women, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of y'all guys get tripped up because you think, oh, how am I gonna smash? How am I gonna smash? Blah, blah, blah. You ain't gotta think about that no more, okay? If you are keeping it to yourself and you're not trying to, sex is now the prize for you, right? So you have the leverage when it comes to relationships. You have the leverage when it comes to sex. You have the leverage when it comes to money. You have the leverage when it comes to blah, 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 blah. You have all the leverage, bro, okay? Sex is like one piece of leverage that women always have. You take that piece of leverage away, you know how much power that gives you? Maybe y'all don't like power. Maybe y'all were meant to be trampled on. Me personally, I'm a fan. Okay? Next, I would say, man, your sex is way better. It ain't even close, bro. And the thing is like, again, if y'all start watching like this type of explicit material, like pre-puberty, back when y'all were a virgin, y'all have never had sex off of it. Ever. Y'all even considered it. The thing is, like, man, the side effects when you stop watching explicit content, bro, are terrible. I'm not gonna lie, man. Especially those first 2 months are horrific. Because whether or not you can start or stop isn't even relevant. The fact of the matter is you've been putting your brain in dopamine sync for years and years and years. You will not be the same until a fat minute until your brain rewires. It takes time, man. But once you recover them dopamine receptors back to where they should be, I'm gonna tell you, you laid down. You laid down, gentlemen. It's just that alone. I'm not gonna lie. I put a lot of other pros on here. Just being able to be more primal, just dripping with testosterone. That's a different type of feeling. That is a different type of feeling. That's worth it, boys. Just that alone, I'm gonna tell y'all, that's worth it. I had no idea what it was like, but now, bro. I mean, I was good before. I'm not gonna lie, right? There's no reason to humble myself for this video. I was pretty good before, but boy, it ain't the same. No honey packing, no blue chew. Hey, you didn't need any of that. Okay, stop beating your meat. Anyway, point is, this is a rather scalding and harsh video. Why? I think the other videos are not real with y'all. I think the other videos annoy me a lot because they're pretentious. Okay, this video is not pretentious. This video is almost talking to, I wouldn't say like a past version of myself, but like there, I have never witnessed such cringe when it comes to other videos talking on this topic. It's like the worst possible like virgins ever. Like talking about how like they're gonna start levitating from not being their meat. Like there are very real benefits, bro. And I don't want to pull out like a bunch of graphs and stats, right? Like you should be able to use your brain to why this helps, right? And like it's just it is absolutely insane to me that like if you really wanted to get like a bunch of experience in interacting sexually with people, like you would just go have sex with more people. Why in the God's name would you possibly like you're not just gonna hit a drug repeatedly? Like that's not the solution, right? But I mean we know that's not the solution, like kind of obviously, right? But I make this video in large part because I hated those other videos when I first didn't quit. Maybe now I'm making a video that somebody else is going to hate, and maybe this helps somebody quit, or maybe it doesn't. At the end of the day, I can't help a lot of y'all. When I said that stuff about earlier about most people being weak, sadly, that's the truth, right? And this might spur kind of some kind of stubbornness at the end, but like y'all won't see realized benefits for a long time. It's gonna take a long time, like probably like at least 8 months, more like 12, and it really depends, bro. You're gonna have to like you separate yourself from like social media as well. So my job as a YouTuber, so I could never fully separate myself from social media. So it took a long time. Short form content obviously has its way with me too, because I'm on TikTok and so, but I'm rambling. Beat your meat or don't, boys. Good luck.